Hey guys, it's Peyton and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of natural but still fun New Year's Eve makeup tutorial. So this is my first one of these. I'm a little nervous and I have some pretty bad acne right now. I just spent the last 2 days in Orlando to go to Disney with my chorus and it was so much fun. But so quickly I'm gonna choose which face mask to do. I have a herb one, a platinum one, and a green tea one. My boyfriend recently got me tons of face masks, so I just have to choose which one. I'm gonna throw that on really quick and then we'll get started with this tutorial. So I just quickly threw on a headband to keep my hair out of my face and we're going to open this up. I think I'm gonna do either the herb or the green tea. I just really can't decide because the green tea has the firming, moisturizing, and health aspect to it, but the herb has the soothing, convergence, and moisturizing. I think I'm gonna do the green tea, so I'm gonna throw this on and I'll be right back. Oh my god, I cannot believe I'm about to film with this on. Okay, so I just put it on and I will be back in 20 minutes. You won't necessarily know a difference, but like, you'll know. Okay guys, we are back. We are looking hydrated and fresh and we are ready for the makeup portion of this tutorial. I didn't really think I needed to show how to put on a face mask, but if you need to, I guess go look it up on YouTube. But so first we're going to start off with primer and moisturizer. I know that face mask kind of did the moisturizing aspect of the job, but it never hurts to moisturize a little bit extra in these winter times. I live in Florida, so it's not really cold here, but from traveling and stuff and staying in hotels and doing quick makeup in the morning before going to the park, you'll want to hydrate a little bit extra the next few days. So I'm going to be taking the Jergens Ultra Healing Extra Dry Skin Moisturizer. I don't have extra dry skin, but never hurts to get a little bit more in there. And this, for me, this helps to give like a little bit more of a base to the primer and helps the foundation stick more on my skin. So yeah, we're just gonna rub that into the skin. Make sure it's all around your face and in your extra dry patches. Maybe bring it down the neck a little bit to be an extra primer for the neck foundation if you're gonna end up using that. And we're gonna let that sit for a minute and we'll be back to do primer in just a moment. Alright, so now that moisturizer is set in, we're going to be taking my sample size Smashbox Photo Finish Foundation Primer. This is the Radiance one. It's so good. I love it so much. So I'm gonna take some on the back of my hand, squeeze some out. I've been using this so much. She's been getting a lot of love, so I only have a little bit left. But it's a really good primer. I would definitely recommend getting the full size. Christmas just happened, so I got a few Sephora gift cards, and I think I'm going to be getting the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and maybe the Jaclyn Hill X Morphe palette. And then I'm definitely going to be investing in this primer and some setting spray, because I had a setting spray from prom and I'm out of it and I just keep filling it up with water. So you do what you gotta do, but now that I have the money and I have the time, I'm going to be investing in that. I'm sorry if my camera's a little bit sideways. I'm filming on my iPhone because I don't have a camera to film on. And I'm also looking in a mirror that's behind my phone. So we're just gonna take this and use both of our hands clean and rub this into our faces. Make sure we get every nook and cranny of your face. And next I'm going to do a little bit of color correcting for this acne. And I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Coverall Correcting Palette. She's also gotten a lot of love. I don't, but I see some people that do it on Instagram and stuff. If you want to add a little bit of oil to make the pigment come across a little bit better, you can always do that. But I usually just take it on my hand and put it over the spots where I need correcting. It gets the job done. So we're just gonna do that and then we'll be all set. I usually don't have a lot of acne. I've been blessed with very nice skin. But around that time of the month, I usually get a little bit. So now we're just gonna take a regular brush, any kind of brush you want. I usually, for color correcting blending, I usually use the Artis brushes. I got these on Amazon. They were really cheap and they do the job. I don't usually use them for like foundation blending or anything like that because they kind of freak me out. But so we're just gonna buff that in. And next up is foundation. So now that that's mostly set in, I'm going to be taking the, okay, you cannot laugh at me because this is kind of old, but it works and it's almost empty, so sorry. The Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer, but this is the neutralizing one. So I usually just put that over where I just color corrected to kind of balance it out, because obviously when you get pimples, you get red. So I usually put that over everywhere I put other concealers and a little bit under my eyes, just to balance redness and neutralize dark circles. So now I'm going to be taking my Real Techniques blending sponge and just blending that out. So that honestly probably doesn't look like it really did anything, but it just balances out redness and gives a good base for the foundation. So next up, I'm going to be taking my Fenty Beauty Pro Filt'r foundation in the shade 160. This is a little bit dark for me, but I got it in the summer and I was a little bit tanner than I am now. So it says to shake well, so we're just going to shake it up. Take off the cap, put our hair back, because you don't even want this getting in your hair. And this foundation dries very fast, so you'll want to do like at least like one side of your face, maybe like your chin, blend that in, and then go to the other side. So we're just going to take it and do 2 drops. Okay, I lied. 3 drops down the face. Take our beauty blender, wipe off the excess, and get to blending. I really like this foundation. It's a really nice full coverage foundation, but like I said, it does dry fast. So you'll want to work quickly and blend into your skin. What I like to do is I like to blend it over my eyes as a kind of, again, base for my eyeshadow primer. And that way there won't be any weird discoloration in your makeup. Okay, so now that we have our base completely on, we're going to move on to concealer. And today, before I get my Tarte Shape Tape concealer, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind in the shade Fair. Yes, this foundation does oxidize a lot, so you'll want to get a darker, or like a other foundation to match, and blend that into your neck. So I'm just going to conceal the places that I need to and highlight the high points of my face. So what this does, it really helps to lighten up that foundation if you do have a darker foundation. And it helps to just brighten up areas that need to be brightened. So I'm right now blending into my face and covering my eye as a eyeshadow primer and a base for the shadow that we're about to put on. And now I'm moving on to the other side. We're going to do the exact same thing. This part's always not the most fun to watch, but if you don't know what you're doing, it is helpful to see someone else doing it. Who am I kidding? I still watch YouTubers every single day. YouTube has always been one of my go-tos for a lot of things. I think it's a lot of fun to get to know people and their way of doing things on YouTube. It's a lot of fun. Alright, so now that we're finished blending, we are going to bake our face and set our under eyes. I'm using the Coty Airspun powder. So we're going to take our beauty blender and dip in and put that right under our eyes to minimize creasing and to set it. A lot of people have questions about what baking actually does. Baking puts the concealer or the foundation in place so that it doesn't move throughout the day. And of course, this being a New Year's Eve makeup tutorial, you definitely do not want that makeup to move while you're partying. So now I'm just setting the rest of my face. Even though the Fenty foundation is a matte foundation, I like to have a base to work with. So now I'm gonna set that concealer that we put over our eyes and work with that. I might be rambling a lot, but I promise I'll get better throughout future videos. So I don't bake my nose because I don't necessarily contour my nose, I just add a little bit of bronzer to it. So I don't put setting powder there. One thing I do have to say about this foundation, like I've said previously, it does oxidize and it's very drying. So if you already have dry skin, I would stay away from it. I have normal to combo skin. So sometimes it's dry, sometimes it's a little bit oily, and other times it's just neither, which again I'm blessed with. So now we're gonna let that sit and we're gonna move on to eyebrows and eyeshadow. So while our face is baking at 350 degrees, as James Charles says, we're gonna move on to eyebrows. And I'm gonna do my eyebrows off camera because I'm really quiet while I do it and I focus a lot. But I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Definer in Soft Brown. And then I will come back on to carve out my brows if need be, and then we'll move on to eyeshadow. Alright, we are back and we are ready to carve out the brows. I'm going to be taking that same concealer and my Luxie 221 flat definer brush. It's basically just I use it for eyebrows because that's what it looks like to me. So we're going to put the concealer under the eyebrows and over the side to take away any other hairs that are sticking out, any sparse hairs, and to just make the arch and tail defined and to fit in with the other. This also helps to highlight the brow bone and fix any mistakes that you could have made while doing your eyebrows. So moving on to the other side, I'm going to do the exact same thing. What helps me when I do my makeup is that eyebrows are supposed to be sisters, not twins. And it's always pretty fun with eyebrows, I think, to watch other people do them because there's never really a set way to do your eyebrows, as we've seen in 2017. You can make them Christmas ornaments or wavy or anything like that. So now we're going to move on to eyes. I'm going to be using my Morphe 35K palette. Ooh, she's a little dirty. Sorry about that. And they don't have shade names in this palette, but this is what it looks like. I love her. She's my holy grail. And I'm going to be taking a Real Techniques. I've had this for so long, it's kind of worn off. We're going to be taking this kind of taupey shade as our transition shade, tapping off the excess, putting it all over our eye and into the crease. So defining your crease using a transition shade really helps to, when you add other colors, to blend those out. And I like to push it into one side of the crease to really get my crease defined. Oh my god, you can take a drinking video watching this. Take a shot every time she says a crease. So I'm going to blend that out, and then we will move on to the next color, which on the same brush, I'm going to be taking this dark chocolate brown shade, tapping off the excess again, and starting to build that into the crease. I'm going to be doing a bronzy glam tutorial with a kind of... I just totally lost what I was going to say, so sorry about that. This just got awful super quick. I'm really sorry. But basically there's going to be a gold sparkle on the lid. And yeah. So like I said in the beginning of this video, this is my first makeup tutorial, so I'm really sorry if there's any bumps in the road or if I'm awkward at saying anything, but bear with me. So now we're going to switch to a more pointed brush, and we're going to put a darker color and start defining our crease. So I'm going to take the brown shade that's right next to the first one that we used, tap off the excess again because these shadows are pigmented, they are Morphe shadows. This isn't a fake palette, and we're going to start really defining our crease and pushing that into the outer edge and into the inner half of your lid. I'm kind of avoiding my actual lid because we are going to take that gold shimmer and place that on there and build up the glow, because who doesn't love a big glow on their lids? You gotta match that New Year's Eve ball. So now, taking even more tapered brush, we're going to do a slight tap into a dark shade, barely enough on your brush, and still tap off that excess, and focus more on the outer edge, just to get that dark shade in there, and really define and contour our eyelid. Sometimes I forget that I don't really have to talk through every single part of this video, because all the YouTubers I watch, like Manny MUA, Jaclyn Hill, Jeffree Star, Laura Lee, Nicole Concilio, Tati, love Tati, they don't always talk and they kind of just edit it out, so that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing, because I am new to this. And yeah. So I did go a little bit darker on this side than I did on this side, so I went back in with that same color, and we're just adding a little bit more to the outer rim. The outer rim, I'm talking like we're in Star Wars or something. Oh well. If you hear anything in the background, it's probably my little sister. She is 7 years old. Super cute. And so now we're just gonna take a cleaner blending brush and blend that out. She's talking. So I'm gonna finish blending and then I will be right back. So keeping this on the natural side of the look while still adding a little bit of glam, I'm going to be taking the Benefit Bikini Teeny pigment, and we're gonna use a brush. I think this is an Eco Tools. Nope, it's a Coastal Scents BRSO2 brush. We're gonna dip it in and place this on our center of our lid to add some glow and sparkle. This is a really nice kind of bronzy gold pigment. So I'm kind of actually running out of this, but I love these so much. It's such a pretty color. I've had this for so long. I just need to go buy a new one. But I'm gonna actually use my finger to get more precision out of it, and place that on, again, the center of my lid. We're going to start off with the brush and then move with our finger if need be. So be sure to get that all the way to your inner corner and the center of your lid, and then we'll go back and blend with a brown shade to make sure everything is completely blended and that there are no harsh lines. So to set that Bikini Teeny, we're gonna go back into the Morphe palette and take this on the same brush as we used, the Coastal Scents one. We're gonna take this gold shimmer shade and set that over the Bikini Teeny to really add a little bit of extra boom, bam, to it and amp up our sparkle. So now that the glow and the glam is complete, so now that the glowing portion is complete, we're going to go back on that first brown shade mixed with the taupe shade as our transition, and just blend these two elements of the look together. You don't really need a little bit more pigment to do it, but I like to, just because it's easier to do it that way. And that's the eyes complete. So because I love a good glow, I'm gonna go back in and use some setting spray on my brush. This helps to, again, amp up the pigment. Wipe it off. Take a little bit more of that gold and place it back on my lid. Now this step is definitely, obviously, optional, but I like to blind people away. Okay. Now the eyes are complete. So it was kind of annoying me how dark my face looked and how light my neck looked. So I added some other Maybelline Fit Me stick foundation to my neck. And now we're going to find that brush and wipe off our bake. Oh, it's right here. So we're going to take this brush and wipe it off. The good thing about baking is that it leaves your under eyes creaseless and also sets that concealer in place. But it doesn't give you a white cast on your eyes. So now that our base and our eyes are complete, we are going to start the process of contouring. At first, I'm going to be taking my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and using a Luxie 660 Precise Foundation brush. I know this isn't used for contouring, but it has a precise tip, and I like that to start the contour. And so we're just gonna blend underneath the hollows of our cheeks to start that up. Always remember, if you have lighter skin, you can use a cool tone bronzer or a warm tone. Honestly, makeup has no rules, as many people say. We're gonna move to the other side and start the same process there. Always remember to dust off the excess because you definitely do not want a very harsh line when contouring. And always remember that to do under the hollows of your cheeks and not too far down. So I'm just gonna blend some bronzer into the forehead to add a little bit of an optical illusion because I have a larger forehead. So I always like to blend into my forehead because it appears that my forehead is now smaller. Also, when this headband comes off, my forehead will actually be smaller. Sorry about the redness on my neck. I'm running out of my Maybelline Fit Me stick foundation to blend into my neck. So it was near the edge, and the sharp part of it kind of made me a little irritated. So now I'm adding a little bit more bronzer to my jawline to kind of contour that as well, make it appear as though I have a very straight face. And again, also my camera is sideways, so I'm very sorry. But so to finish that contour and bronzing, I'm going to be taking the Tarte Park Avenue Princess Amazonian Clay Bronzer on that same brush. And this is very, very pigmented and very, very dark. Well, warm tone. So I'm going to dust all that off and just lightly bronze up my face. Alright, now that bronzing is complete, this step is also very optional because it's more of just a preference thing. I'm going to go back into that Coty Airspun translucent powder and take my beauty blender, whoa, I almost spilled everywhere, and dip back in and bake under my contour just to make sure it is not muddy and to make sure it doesn't move anywhere. So now that that is actually setting, we are going to add some blush. And, ooh, where's my blush? Blush. So today for blush, we are going to be using the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush in the shade Feisty. I get the Ipsy bags, so I always get a bunch of sample sizes, and this is my first Tarte blush, and let me say, it is amazing. I love it. And I'm going to be using this on a Luxie 514 blush brush, which I also got in my Ipsy bag. We're going to add that to the apples of our cheeks. I always smile when I'm applying it to make it easier to find my way around. You definitely, if you want, you can bring this as far back and blend it into your bronzer, which I always like to do because it adds a little bit more of a structured look to your face. And I like the pop of color. Some people don't like blush, but I always do. Because again, it adds that simple pop of color, but leaves your skin luminous and natural looking. Even with all the cake you just put on your face. But like, it's fine. It honestly doesn't even matter. So now that the blush is complete, we're gonna wipe off that bake using that same e.l.f. brush that we used to set the rest of our face and make sure that our contour is set. I know the lighting is kind of changing, but I don't have any super fancy lights, so I'm sorry that my face might look a little bit distorted. But if your face does look a little bit distorted, you can take a brush and kind of wipe off the blush, spin it around a little bit, dust it off, and just blend further if it's not blended to your liking. And so now now that the bake is completely wiped off and everything is blended to perfection, I'm going to set my face using the, well, it was the L'Oreal Infallible Makeup Extender Setting Spray, but now it's water. And honestly, if you don't have any setting spray, it does the same job. It really just melts your makeup into place. Obviously, having a real life setting spray is a lot better for you, but whatever. So now, to blow the haters away, we are going to do some highlighter. So to start off my highlight, I'm going to be taking the Stila Heaven's Hue highlighter. It is their kind of putty highlighter. I love this so much. Oh, you can see yourself. I'm going to be using this on my finger to kind of just set it. This does give a kind of subtle glow from within, but it also has a little bit of pigment to it. So from this side, it really does look like there's a weird line on my face. So I'm going to be taking my highlighting brush, which is another Luxe brush. I think it is, no, it's a 522 tapered highlighter, and just kind of blend that out. There is some highlight actually left on this brush, so it may look a little funky for a second, but bear with me. And we will be adding the Fenty Beauty Killawatt highlighter in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. So now that we have that, we're going to dip into both sides of the duo, dust off the excess, and highlight away. Some people like a more subtle highlighter, but for me, I like to know that if anything on my face looks not the best, the highlight can always save the day. Because if you're highlighted to heaven, no one will be focusing on anything else. So I took that over the Cupid's bow and on the bridge of my nose, a little bit on my forehead, and then we're going to take the Naked palette brush. This is from the Naked 2 palette, and we are going to put it over our eyebrow bone to add some extra glow and to really make that brow bone pop in pictures, and to just, again, add some depth to your face. So I know I probably look kind of crazy right now because of my crazy glow and stuff, but I really like this look for me. So if you do not want this look or like the extra highlighted glowy skin kind of look, by all means do not do it. You definitely do not have to do it. I know it's kind of extra. And to finish off this look, I'm going to be using the Monsieur Big Mascara by Lancome. I got this also in my Ipsy bag, and I'm going to add this to my lashes. It is amazing. It's such a great mascara. I have naturally really long eyelashes, and they're very lifted, which again I'm very blessed about. So I do not curl my lashes, but if you'd like to, you can definitely do it before this step. And I'm putting it on my lower lashes to give them also some length and dimension. So I'm going to finish up the other eye and I'll be right back. Okay, now that mascara is done, the last step is lips, and I'm going to be using the Pure Lust Extreme Matte Tint by Kaylin Beauty in the shade Practicable, sorry. This is also in my Ipsy bag. I haven't seen what else this brand has, but it's a beautiful brand and I love them so much. So I'm going to apply this and I'll be right back. So with that, that is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching and staying with me through that. It was my first one, like I said, and I was a little nervous, so I might have rambled a lot, but I'm really glad that I finally just sat down and did it, because makeup has been one of my favorite things to do for the past 2 years, and I've gotten pretty into it, and I like to think I'm getting better at it. So have a great 2018. I hope to see you back on my channel very, very soon with another maybe more colorful tutorial once I get my Jaclyn Hill palette. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Thank you so much again for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, comment on it, tell me what I need to do better on. Obviously lighting I definitely need to do a little bit better on. And hopefully more covers will be coming soon. Oh, look at my new Pascal hat. I think it's super cute. But yeah, guys, thank you so much again for watching, and have a great New Year's Eve, great New Year's Day, and a fabulous 2018. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!